Now, I don't know about you, but my first time was pretty memorable. So memorable, in fact, that I think it's time I tell you all about it.
Whoa, high five.
So let me set the scene. We're in Switzerland. I'm with my wife. We're in the pool looking over the beautiful Eiger. These two girls float on up to us and we get talking and one of them says, "So what do you do for work?" I hesitated. I got a little bit nervous. I got a bit choked up and then I thought, I'm never gonna see them again. So I did it. So I leaned in, puffed out my chest. I got up the courage and I said, "I'm a filmmaker." It was pure elation, an absolute weight off my shoulders. I felt like Nicolas Cage with the wind in his hair. That's how freeing it was. A phoenix flew overhead. There were doves singing, fireflies dancing. I had come out of my shell. I was a filmmaker. There was one thing that was very evident and clear in that moment right there, and that was,
"But nothing could ruin a wonderful day like this."
Until she said, "Oh, sick. So what movies have you made? Anything that I've seen?" Nope. Absolute ground zero for this guy. I bore my heart to this stranger of a lady and she just took my heart and she ripped it in two.
Right in front of me. Right in front of me.
Thanks, Kylie. So that's the story of my first time that I ever told someone that I was a filmmaker. It took 2 more years for me to utter those words from my mouth again. 2 years of mumbling things like, I use cameras, I make video stuff, I do camera work, yeah. And when you reply to a commoner, a civilian of the non-camera world, and you have to try and tell yourself, oh, you know that commercials and content and YouTube films and this and that, they're all filmmaking. It just feels like you're trying to claim something that isn't really true. You're trying to validate yourself for someone else when you could have just said, I'm a filmmaker and I make films. You don't get to tell me what a film is or isn't. I don't tell you how to run HR, do I, Kylie?
Thanks for coming to this mandatory HR meeting.
Let's make some noise.
It's so dumb, but it makes you wonder, what is a filmmaker? What is a videographer? What is a cinematographer? And what's everything in between? The reason I wrestled with titles in the first place was I don't typically like to be called a videographer because in the town I'm in, videographers typically do things like weddings and events. Not that there's anything wrong with that, that's how I started out as well. But in this town, you can kind of get pigeonholed into that event wedding space pretty quickly, and I'm not trying to do that. So I've wrestled with the job title for years, and I think I've finally come to a place where I'm comfortable to call myself a cinematographer. And no, my films don't play in the cinema. Yet. But my portfolio of television commercials, short films, documentaries, and everything in between, I think now more than ever finally fits the title I've afforded to myself. So others will be able to understand what it is that I actually do.
Who does number 2 work for?
There's so much more outside of YouTube that will never get posted here that I think gives me the right to call myself a cinematographer. Now this isn't a video just fluffing myself up. This is a video I made that I hope some people can relate to. And if you can't and you're still trying to work out what your title is and where your niche in the market is, I've made this foolproof chart for you. The reality is if you make films for a living, you're a filmmaker. And it takes all sorts of films to make the world go round. Some have big budgets, some have small budgets. Some, unfortunately, have no budgets. But a film is a film. If you make event films, filmmaker. You might get called a videographer from time to time, but you're making films, so boom, filmmaker. If you're making wedding films, filmmaker. Music videos, filmmaker. Scorsese, filmmaker. Bay, filmmaker. Tarantino, filmmaker. Anderson, filmmaker. Other famous director, filmmaker. Dobre.
Yeah, boy.
In Australia, I play low-level football. When I'm not injured, I train hard and I play hard. I'm a footy player. I absolutely love it. But that title of footy player isn't just reserved for the elite professionals. We're all football players. So why is it any different in our industry? Why is there this stigma and this thing about, oh, you're not a filmmaker? This was a video just to share my experience and to encourage you to grow up, to nut up, and to tell everyone that you're a filmmaker.
I'm not a puppet. I'm a real boy.
On that note, this was a fun little video detailing my experiences of calling myself a filmmaker. Take it for what it is. If you don't agree, let me know in the comments. And on that note, as per YouTube's terms and conditions update, if you think you're a filmmaker, you've got to subscribe to the channel and like the video. It's what YouTube would have wanted. Anyway, go listen to my guy Malimba's newest song. It just came out the other day. It's sick. See you in the next one. Bye.
Look, back and I'm better than ever. I think I got a vendetta. Oh, now they call me, I seen them. All of those times getting severed.